Selected 1. At exactly 3:33 in the morning, your encrypted phone rings. The executive director of Special Judicial Operations, who has spent decades detecting dangers, breaks all procedure to reach you, says in a shaking voice. Ordinarily, bureaucratic quiet would have buried you alive. But when they divulge the secret truth tonight, everything is different. Severe action has been approved against you. Because what is in your veins, what ignites between your synapses, and what emanates from your energy field is a representation of something that is out of their control, frightening, and amazing. Within 48 hours, they come with customized techniques made for people with your particular signature, electromagnetic resonance, and capacity to bend reality, because you are the focal point of their anxiety. This official has served for 27 years and has never violated procedure. They risk everything, however, because they know the amazing truth about who you are and the frightening resolve of those who would rather see you awaken than have your existence erased. And yet, here they are, warning you via safe channels that are officially non-existent. Like a neglected artery, the service tunnel runs under the city. Concrete rooms, constructed decades before you were born, reverberate with your footfall. The official appears out of the shadows, holding a titanium case, like a piece of holy text to their chest. Protocols for recognition were verified. Before security algorithms notice this pattern deviation, we have 11 minutes. The case begins. A red ink stamped dossier with the words Omega Priority on it. All on the cover is your name. Your name. These files, which are kept outside of formal record-keeping systems, run by a department without any public recognition, legislative scrutiny, or judicial review, are there expressly to keep an eye on those who have talents that go beyond what is considered normal for humans. The pages turn. High-resolution surveillance photos document your life. That time in private when you were overcome by emotion and the lights flickered in your kitchen. Days later, that dream came true in all its details. That stranger who came up to you said something that made you remember things you didn't know existed, and then vanished entirely from all surveillance cameras. Neural architecture shown by brain scans is unlike anything described in medical literature. Energy patterns and electromagnetic measurements defy accepted scientific theories. Abnormalities in the temperature around you while you're feeling or concentrating strongly. Your case has been examined by 16 expert analysts. 14 suggested neutralization right away. 1 proposed research and confinement. I was the one who realized the reality. You stand for progress rather than danger. Change, not change. The next logical stage in the evolution of consciousness. A categorization code is tapped over your file by the official's finger. By 4 o'clock a.m., your status was changed from reality disruptor to existential anomaly today. In recorded history, only 7 people were assigned this categorization. Every prior instance triggered procedures for quick termination. Their gaze meets yours. Their anxiety says a lot about how important you are. For those used to darkness, the light inside of you shines too brightly. Their carefully constructed image of control is upset by your frequency. 12 days, 16 months, and around 9 hours. On the metal table, the official slips operating logs. For that long, specialist units have been keeping an eye on every breath you take, every dream you have, and every unconscious reality alteration you engage in. Operatives positioned in nearby residences are described in surveillance reports. Tracking gadgets inserted inside private property. Utility poles close to your home are equipped with specialized sensors. Satellite tracking when your energy signature becomes more intense at certain astronomical alignments. Conventional surveillance methods were inadequate. Digital recording equipment was corrupted by your energy field. Operatives that spent a lot of time close to you reported having strange dreams, experiencing erratic emotions, and even temporarily becoming more perceptive. Another reason they see you as dangerous is because you change everyone around you. 3 and 17 recorded statistical impossibilities related to your everyday actions are referred to by the official in the part titled Statistical Anomalies. Over the course of their lives, the typical individual produces zero. Even probability is twisted by your presence. Produces cascading synchronicity that permeates aspects of causal reality that are theoretically impossible to happen by accident. Files describe ordinary situations that are changed. The ideal combination of strangers who gave you the exact message you needed. The book opens to the precise page where your response is found. The storm that passed as soon as you went outdoors. The device that malfunctioned when it may have hurt you. The enigmatic grant that came at the right time. They gathered your trash goods for months, even the cup you drank from at that cafe 3 weeks ago, together with tissue residue and hair samples. DNA analysis turned up markers they had never seen before. It should be impossible for some genetic sequences to manifest themselves via you. Existing biological parameters may be altered by the codes carried by your own cells. The official's voice falls to a respectful whisper as he leans closer. What exactly makes you a threat to them? Your unassailable knowing. That profound conviction that there is more to reality than their inflexible frameworks allow. Even when you question yourself, you have that quiet power that emanates from your heart. They carefully track your sleep habits because, when you dream, something occurs that reverberates across the collective mind. A titanium envelope that has been sealed slips across the table. Only open this if absolutely required. Everything you need to be removed from their surveillance grid right now is within. With military accuracy, the official describes the contents. Even internal security is unable to monitor newly produced identity paperwork via channels. Codes for entry to a building protected from both traditional and non-traditional forms of monitoring. Methods for emergency communication that make use of frequencies that are not typically monitored. Particular coordinates for a place where false negatives are produced by their tracking algorithms. Using a customized tablet, fingers tap quickly. I have momentarily tampered with your tracking information in central systems, produced a phony movement pattern that suggested traveling abroad. It takes around 72 hours for their adaptive algorithms to identify the abnormality and adjust your trajectory. The official's face becomes stern. Know what this implies. Not against my country, but against the fundamental structures that uphold mainstream reality. My acts amount to the ultimate form of treason. I gave up my freedom, my profession, and maybe my life, because you are more than any oath I have ever taken. Carefully planned extraction routes are shown as maps come to life, code-marked safe homes. Underground networks run by folks who understand the importance of persons with your particular energy signature. I have eliminated risks to public safety and recognized threats to national security throughout my career. That's what they think you represent, which is why I got your file. However, their evaluation essentially misinterprets your character. Reality isn't disturbed by you. They have limited tools to quantify it, but you see it more fully. The next evolutionary step in the development of awareness itself is represented by what passes through you. Specific paperwork is tapped by the official. It was referred to as divine fire in ancient literature. It is referred to as non-local awareness by quantum physicists. It was dubbed the awakened perception by indigenous knowledge keepers. The language shifts. The phenomena is still there, but it is now showing up via you. The darkness space is illuminated by a holographic display. Across deserts, mountain ranges, seas, and continents, glowing dots pulse. Every light is a human being. When it comes to this awakening, you are not alone. The official zooms between continents while adjusting the interface. Every light signifies a person who is now going through similar activation patterns as you. Simultaneous emergence of similar energy signatures despite disparate origins, cultures, and belief systems. The phenomena is described in depth via data streams. The majority are unaware of what is happening to them. They ascribe their growing consciousness to chance, psychological abnormality, or religious experience. They don't have the background knowledge necessary to comprehend the changes taking on inside of them. On the screen, red pointers glow menacingly. These are people whose activation was stopped before it was finished. Others, via direct involvement. Others, by well-planned mishaps. And a few, by psychological manipulations meant to persuade them that they suffered from mental illness, rather than evolutionary progress. An urgent tone intensifies in the official's voice. The skills you are now exhibiting, such as enhanced intuition, reality manipulation, and causal impact, are just the first phases of activation. Right now, your awareness goes beyond the bounds of normalcy. However, this is only the start. Your whole range of skills is still mostly latent, waiting for the right circumstances to be present. As the display changes, connections between the lights are visible, patterns of energy connecting across impossibly long distances. This is the most important part of what is happening. Each awakened awareness presents a modest challenge to the accepted reality on its own. When you work together at quantum levels, you create something that is incomprehensible to them and that radically alters the rules of life itself. The official's hand moves across the screen. Type Amen to embrace the angel's blessings. Show your support by giving super thanks up to $20. There are exact mathematical progressions to this awakening. The critical mass is quickly approaching. The process is exponentially accelerated by each awakened person. This explains why they are so urgent about your situation. Every day, the opportunity for stopping this collective emerging is less. Your awakening's indicators need unmistakable identification, not nebulous spirituality, but exact expressions of awareness growing beyond accepted bounds. As a direct result of your awareness influencing probability fields, synchronicity multiplies around you with mathematical impossibility rather than random chance. The cosmos reorganizes itself to provide just what your expanding consciousness needs. Things react based on your feelings. Electronics break down when emotions are strong. A spike in your energy causes the lights to flicker. Because the apparent distinction between inner and outside experience blurs as your perception changes, physical reality exhibits sensitivity to your inside state. Without being informed, you are aware of information. You already grasp topics that you haven't officially studied, according to conversations. Ideas that you realized inside days ago are shared by strangers. Unquestionably, your aspirations come true in the material world. These encounters show that awareness extends beyond the usual bounds of space, time, and causation. Others are greatly impacted by your energy field. Unusual experiences, unexpected insights, emotional release, and unexplained knowledge are reported by others around you. Their own buried potential is rekindled by your presence. Because your field automatically speeds up evolutionary processes in everything it touches, this occurs unintentionally. Energy changes are accompanied by physical feelings such as warmth in the chest, tingling in the limbs, pressure at the head, and vibration between the brows. Expanded awareness is accommodated by rewiring your neurological system. As awareness becomes more thoroughly anchored into physical form, these feelings identify particular activation areas. Regular time distortion causes hours to seem like minutes or seconds to drag on forever. Your vision transcends linear limitations. The present moment enlarges when you gain access to awareness outside of traditional chronological frames, unveiling depths that were previously obscured by conditioned perception. These manifestations adhere to long-standing patterns that have been recorded by several historical cultures. Quantum physics, indigenous wisdom traditions, Vedic sciences, Egyptian mystery schools, and esoteric Christian mysticism all use various names to refer to the same things. The evolutionary currents that have shaped human progress throughout recorded history are linked to you via your experiences. People who have your particular awareness profile have emerged throughout pivotal moments in human history. They arise according to exact cyclical patterns that match thresholds of communal awareness, as well as astronomical alignments. According to Sumerian tablets from antiquity, they were people whose awareness went beyond the traditional divisions between the visible and unseen worlds. People who walk between worlds. They were shown in Egyptian hieroglyphs as creatures of heightened Ka, identified by the characteristic energy sphere around their bodily form. Those whose awareness awoke while still embodied were referred to as twice-born by Greek mystery schools. Across continents, indigenous customs upheld certain procedures for locating and caring for these people. The unique indicators of heightened consciousness, particular dreams, remarkable perceptual talents, innate healing powers, and communication with non-physical intelligence were identified by tribal elders. Type Amen to embrace the angel's blessings. Show your support by giving super thanks up to $20. These people were prepared for their function as consciousness bridges during evolutionary transitions via specialized training. This behavior is hidden behind clinical language and modern categorization systems. Modern institutions refer to what ancient wisdom saw as spiritual emergence as aberration. Modern institutions pathologize what traditional people revere as a sacred vocation as dysfunction. By separating awakened people from their historical background and evolutionary destiny, this intentional reframing supports particular goals and upholds consensus reality. You are descended from people who have existed before the dawn of recorded history. Every significant advancement in human awareness has been made possible by people just like you, those whose consciousness grew beyond pre-existing frameworks at times of social change. Even though your experiences may feel personal, they are part of a broader evolutionary trend. As the crucial threshold draws near, the level of monitoring increases. Global monitoring systems saw an abrupt increase in the growth of awareness, especially in those who fit your unique energy profile. Astronomical alignments and geomagnetic abnormalities that recur in about 6,000-year periods are linked with this surge. Unprecedented activation is confirmed by many measuring systems. Historic levels of Schumann resonance variations are reached. As complexity rises, the intensity of the geomagnetic field falls. Pineal function is directly impacted by the radiation patterns produced by solar activity. For those who are ready, the energetic circumstances created by Earth's proximity to the galactic center enhance the evolution of awareness. Although these outside factors act as a necessary stimulant, communal awareness itself is more important. Humanity is getting close to the point of evolutionary split, the point at which new consciousness cannot be contained by pre-existing paradigms. Consensus, reality-maintaining systems rely only on shared understanding of what existence is. That consensus is fundamentally challenged by your growing awareness. You are both valuable and dangerous because of your capacity to see beyond pre-programmed boundaries. The collective field changes a little every time you realize reality goes beyond the bounds of formal boundaries. Rigid structures get weaker the more possibilities your consciousness absorbs. Regardless of any outside activity, this happens. By residing in an expanded condition, your mind itself acts as an evolutionary catalyst. Certain indicators of this activation are tracked by monitoring systems. Content for dreams that exhibits non-local awareness, synchronicity that is not consistent with statistical chance, intuitive understanding that was not possible to get via traditional methods, accurate precognition, energy field influences on electrical devices, spontaneous healing occurrences, and reality modification by concentrated attention. Consciousness surpasses known boundaries in every incarnation. The systems designed to monitor these occurrences have conflicting goals. Some people try to stifle growing awareness because they regard it as a challenge to established hierarchies of power. Others want to safeguard awakened people because they understand the importance of the evolutionary leap. Others strive to exploit consciousness phenomena for technical gain, oblivious of the underlying ramifications. Type Amen to embrace the angel's blessings. Show your support by giving super thanks up to $20. The awareness of the impending changeover point is reflected in the level of existing monitoring. The skills that are presently emerging are early warning signs of an evolutionary change that will radically alter the character of human experience. Systems that rely on maintaining a narrow consensual reality are at risk from this change. Beyond human goals, your awakening fulfills evolutionary imperatives, the unfolding of cosmic chronology with mathematical accuracy. You have been recognized as important by many interest groups, each of which has a distinct agenda about your waking awareness. Through specialist departments that go beyond standard monitoring, government security agencies keep an eye on anyone who have your signature. These devices make use of quantum field detectors, sympathetic resonance analyzers, probability distortion measures, and technologies created especially for monitoring consciousness events. Their worry is that in systems intended for total control, expanding awareness is an unexpected variable. Private research groups investigate consciousness as technology in an effort to get an edge by comprehending the mechanics behind your skills. Their labs examine data gathered from thousands of people, showing a comparable heightened consciousness. Their objective is to use evolutionary emergence for certain purposes, while halting the full expression of its transformative potential. Monitoring with technology is just the tip of the iceberg of surveillance. More advanced devices monitor your energy signature in realms of reality that are not apparent to the human eye. These techniques identify the ripple effects of your awareness as it affects collective dream patterns, timeline convergence points, and probability fields. Your importance is shown by the monitoring itself. Your evolutionary potential is acknowledged by the resources devoted to monitoring your progress. The extraordinary confluence of interest from many groups attests to the revolutionary potential that is emerging inside you. Their focus is a validation of what your innermost knowledge already knows. A fundamental change in the nature of reality itself is triggered by your awareness.